Hey, this is Jayhawk Scott again, and today I'm going to do a little product review of a little gadget that I found on Bulk Resupply. I read a bunch of the reviews, and you know, I do tend to rely a lot on reviews that I see on sites, which is maybe a good idea, maybe a bad idea. But this wasn't very expensive, so I figured, you know, I was buying more parts for my controller, so I had hit the $150 free shipping thing. So it's kind of like, well, you know, if there's a little item you want to get, now's the time to get it because it's not going to cost you any shipping. So I saw this thing called the Easy Blade. Now, anybody that's used one of these aquarium magnet cleaners knows that you really have to stay away from the bottom of the tank where your sand is at, because you really don't want to get sand inside of the bristles on the scraping side, because as soon as you do that, you pull it up, you start scratching your tank. Bad, bad, bad. And so what this thing is, all it is really is a razor blade. Down inside of here, it's just a razor blade you put on here, and then you tighten it up to set it. And then what you do is you glue it on to your magnet. See how that goes? And so when you're scraping the glass, you're also going to have a razor blade, which, you know, anybody that when you clean your tank, the magnets work great, but they don't do everything. And so having a razor blade on my magnet like that could potentially really lessen the amount that I would need to use my Pro Scraper, which, you know, nobody ever uses. One of the nice things, if you can clean your tank without putting your hands in it, without getting wet, it's always a good thing. So all you got to do is attach this thing to the your magnet using a super glue or something like that, which kind of disappointed was not included. So I'm gonna have to go buy some super glue. I don't actually have any on hand, and while I'm doing that, I'm gonna clean up the outside of my my magnet. So I guess my mag float is headed to the headed to a bath to get that cleaned up with a little vinegar. But it looks pretty basic. I don't, you know, easy enough for me to say, yeah, I don't see where it can go wrong, but I don't know that there's a lot of, we'll see how it works. Once I get the this attached to the magnet, I'll get it glued on there, and we'll take it up to the tank and give it a try. I still, even though I think by putting this on the end that I could get closer to my sand on the bottom of my tank, I think I will still try to, you know, just be better to be safe than sorry and steer clear of that and just use the old Pro Scraper to get down in there. Because one of the things about when you got a little blade like this on your Pro Scraper, there's not a whole lot of places for this thing to pick up some rocks and scratch your glass, where here it doesn't take much. So, but we'll see how it goes once I get it glued on there, and we'll get it in the fish tank and give it a try. So I'll go get all the stuff I need at the store, come back, we'll put it together, and we'll give it a try. So I'll let it go for now, but I'll be back and we'll see how it works. Okay, so I've got my Easy Blade mounted here on my magnet, my MagnaFlow. I didn't use Crazy Glues, I used actually Gorilla Glue, just because it's what I had around. And you know, just put the glue on there and let it set up as long as it takes, and it'll work just fine. Now, one of the things, I've used this thing a little bit so far, and you know, I think it works pretty well, really. One of the things that I have noticed is that, and I don't know how well you can see that, I got a little rust on the blade here. So what I have done is I'd pulled this thing out of the water. I didn't leave it in the water, but I set it on top of my tank on the center glass brace, and you know, it's kind of damp underneath my canopy under there. So I really think after you use this, dude, you need to take it out of the water, rinse it off, and then store it someplace where it's going to be dry. Otherwise, just this blade's just going to become all rusted out, and you're not going to want to use it. I think at this point in time I can clean this off and still use it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to put it in the tank, and I'll show you how it works. Okay, so I got it in the tank now, and it works, you know, just like any other aquarium magnet now, with the exception that you know, when most everybody's probably used these aquarium magnets, and they work pretty well, but you know, you have to go back and forth multiple times, it seems like, to really get it to clean. Now I've got what is probably a week's worth of growth on my glass here, and I don't have a lot in my tank yet. I'm still just kind of cycling the whole thing, so there's no fish yet, but you can see I've got some. The front glass isn't very clean, and it's kind of hard to tell that now, but I think you'll see it after I get it cleaned up here a little bit. The one catch to this thing now is that you really can only go one way. If you go up and down, you see it doesn't do much, but you also see that the magnet just went over this area twice, and it didn't clean it completely. It's better, but it's still not perfectly clean. But if I take and push the blade, you can see that my blade needs to be adjusted. See how it's clean on the top and not so much on the bottom? So take the blade out, and to adjust this thing, it's really easy. All you have to do is you just take, and there's a screw on the top right here. You unscrew that thing and lay it on a flat surface, preferably like glass, and then just push down around the edges of it until you should have, I mean, you can't really see it, but you should get a more flush set where it won't. Yeah, the best way to do it is really inside the aquarium. Is get it set. See how put your actual hand inside the aquarium. You can undo it, unscrew it a little bit, and then you can see the blade slide up and down. Push it all the way up against the glass. Get a nice snug fit up against the glass. Then tighten it up. And once you got it tightened up, you can try again. But I mean, it's not perfect by any stretch, but I can definitely tell it takes a lot. You know, it decreases the number of passes that I have to make to get stuff cleaned off my glass. Now, I would also expect that if you had some coralline algae on your glass that you wanted to clean off, that this would really help in that regard too. So here, I'll bring it by up over here, and you can see me make a pass. Let's see if I can zoom in on it a little bit. There you go. And I'll just move it forward just a little bit, and you can see the real line there where the blade was, and you can just see how much better of a job it does than just the because if I go and I do just the magnet on the other side, I'll go a little bit, maybe turn it up here a little bit so you can see. See, there's just the magnet, and you can see that was 2 passes because I went that way and then back, and in 2 passes it didn't do as much as the Easy Blade did in 1 pass. So you just kind of work it, and I tell you what, it does really quite a good job. And so I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, for 13 bucks, I mean, can't complain for 13 bucks. Most of the times when you spend $13 on something in the aquarium industry, you get a $13 paperweight. So I would at this point in time, and I haven't used it long term, I just used it a little bit, I I would give the Easy Scraper a thumbs up. For 13 bucks you can't really go wrong. So I guess I'll end my review there, right there. I am up to 199 subscribers. I am about to hit 200, and that's just blows my mind. And I just want to say thank you to everybody out there watching my videos, and thanks for being patient while I haven't been able to put out that many videos lately. As I've mentioned in some previous videos, I've got now what's almost a 3-month-old at home, and so it is a little trying at times to find time to do aquarium videos. This is actually 3:30 in the morning as I was up, awake, couldn't go back to sleep, so I thought, what the hell, do an aquarium video. So anyways, Thanksgiving's just around the corner. Hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving, and I will catch you all on the next one. This is Jayhawk Scott signing out. One thing I forgot to mention about the Easy Blade that I really like is the fact that anytime you use a magnet to clean your glass, you've got to be real close or real careful about how close you get to your substrate on the bottom of your tank, because the back of that magnet can pick up some of that little coral or sand or whatever you're using for a substrate and very easily scratch your glass or your acrylic. Now the Easy Blade won't work for acrylic, so if you've got an acrylic tank, don't use the Easy Blade. It's just for glass. But as you can see here, it makes it real easy to bring it down, because you can really see the line and how close you get to the substrate, and you can get right up to it and then come right back, and it'll clean all the way down there, and you can see all the stuff just floating off. So it makes what was kind of a two-step process a one-step process, where I can use my magnet to clean almost all of my glass, where before you'd always have to, I'd use the magnet for a large part of it, and then I'd turn around and have to break out the Pro Scraper to get down into the substrate. Now I still will do some of that, but when I want to do a more thorough cleaning of my tank. But if I want to just do a quick clean, with the Easy Scraper, I'm able to get right up to the substrate, which really helps. So I just thought I wanted to add that in. So anyways, I will sign out, and I will catch you all on the next video. This is Jayhawk Scott saying later.